Salute, this is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. We are live today. Let me get this music right where I want it at. Salute to everyone. Salute to everyone. What an eventful weekend this has been. I am not going to, someone said, become very animated in this stream. But I am going to share why I named and some things. Let me be very clear. This is when spirituality and the game combines. At the thinking class. Let me share this very clearly for those who are watching, those who will be watching in the clouds, those who will come back later. that this is not an indictment against women. At all. This is just observation. You feel some kind of way. I cannot in no way control what you feel or what you think and your opinions. Let me say this. The internet has given everybody access to voice their opinions and their thoughts, whether we agree with them or not. So Luke, what's going on, J-Mark? What's going on? Whether we agree or not, let me get this mic together over here. I shared some things just on Friday about culture, about socialization, and I shared some things about that we have a culture here. So today I'm going to, and this week, sort of dive into it this week on my Facebook page, regular Facebook, but I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take it off my page, take it off my regular personal page and bring it onto the regular Facebook page so we can talk, but we need to have a conversation. And the reason why I'm having this conversation, let me be very clear. I did not see the movie, The ManKing. I did not see it. I have no desire to see it because of the historical tragedy that was there with this story, with dehoming. I understand that it's, for many people, it's a great movie, but that's not here I'm here to discuss. Now, even with me seeing the title of the movie, did I say that it was not? So Luke, what's going on? Dylan, what's going on? Did I say it even with the title of the movie, The ManKing? Someone they brought up historical facts that, that's not true, which are just exceptions to the rule. I think one of the main things that this discussion has brought on Facebook, especially on my Facebook page, and I think in the greater space, is that we need to have a conversation. And I want to shout out to all those who inbox me behind the scenes. Shout out to my brother. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wanted his name to be put out there. What's going on? Joe Blast, what's going on? Dylan, what's going on? Jay, good to see you brothers there. Shout out to him. He comes from the conscious community, and he said some very very strong things to me behind the scenes that I'm not going to share word for word what he shared, but he did have an awakening that we do have there's a conversation that needs to be had, not just about the movie, because what happens is the movie is just a talking point. To me, the movie is just to match the light, to light the fire. But really, there's an underneath conversation needed to be had between men and women. Shout out to the women who behind the scenes reached out to me, who said some things to me that were very enlightening and encouraging. One young lady expressed her journey of how she was deprogramming herself from the social conditionings of this present age, and how it had not served her when it came to her personal life, her relationship lives, and multiple things. So there's a conversation that needs to be had. Why did I name him the ManKing? They have decided to walk away. Because I believe, blessings, what's going on, Yahoo? Good to see you, brother. I think there's a serious conversation need to be had. And I want to be clear, so nobody come up here, well, you didn't see the movie. No, I did not see the movie, The Woman King. I have no desire to see the movie. From a historical point of view, I don't want to see the movie. Is there some messages in the movie that's there? Yes. Do I want to see it? No, I do not. But I have that choice to not want to see it, not want to see the movie. I have a choice not to agree with the title. And I think a lot of people miss that point. What we have is we think that we should always collectively take the same path just because we're the same color. Not realizing that we have the right to disagree and not see things as black and white. So I think that's a lot of times what we missed it here. What's going on, Sharice? Good to see you. Good to hear when women decide to take her path, not to follow the herd. Good to hear when women decide. Yeah. So yeah, the young lady expressed to me today, and I was shaken up how she had decided to deprogram from the social conditionings of this Western mindset. And one thing that really caught my, she said she started to put on more dresses, and she started to embrace her femininity. She started to lower her voice and not be so, and soften her voice, where it's actually said. And I'm not going to say her name, I'm not going to say it, but she hit me behind the scenes, and I've been knowing her for years. And I watched on social media when she went through almost like a spiritual cleansing to get to the place to get back in touch with her femininity. And so I think what has happened is this conversation has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because it's going against the narrative that's being pushed, not just about the movie, but about what's taking place between men and women. The conversation needs to be had. What has happened is a lot of men have been speaking up and expressing their feelings, expressing what they think, their disdains and their likes, and many times in certain circles is not being heard by the women. It automatically turns into a shouting match. It automatically turns into a wrestling match. It turns into who said the best quote, and it never comes to some real life solutions. So a lot of men, like I've said before, and I'm saying it again, have decided to vote with their feet. They're not voting with their mouths anymore. They're not even voting at the polls anymore, because we see what's happening even in Atlanta, how there's a last ditch effort to get black men to come on board for the Democratic Party, because they need our votes. They see what's going on, Ted. They see our votes, and they see that they need our votes in order to win a particular election, governor's election in Atlanta. In Georgia. And many times I think what we need to discuss is that the black man's politics is not the same as the black woman's politics. Let me say that again. The black man's politics is not the same as the black woman's politics. And many times we don't want to talk about it, but this is something that we need to really not just cake over, but we really need to hit it head on. Let me say that again for those who are listening in the clouds who are wondering what he's going to say. The man came, they decided to go away. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Black man's politics is not the same as the black woman's politics. We've seen that in the last presidential elections that a lot of men did not want to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Because at the end of the day, the black men are deciding, or they're realizing, what is it really going to benefit me? The other side of it is, if I do decide to vote with the side of the black woman and she gets in power, will she forget about me like she's forgot about me in the past? And it only becomes woman power and never community power. Or will men only be used as being disposable to get the vote, but it's never hearing what the men have to really say? So these are conversations that I think that needs to be talked about, that needs to be resurfaced, that needs to be unearthed, that's trapped inside of our community, our nation. And this is not just, this is worldwide. Let me see, they need to vote, then don't do it after they get them. Biden, anyone, correct. Nancy P will pull the strings behind the scenes, not right. Yeah, you already know. Yep, so y'all starting to get what I'm saying. And this is no political attack on either side, Democrats or Republicans. This is just the saying, I think what happens is divide and conquer within the oppressive system. Bingo. I think what's happening is, and I think, and I'm saying this, and I'm saying this. Let me lower this music. Let me cut it right quick, because I can hear it in the background. I need to hear this. I think what's happening is in the surge of before the pandemic, and even after, you're seeing a surge, and I've said this before, men who are now vocal and can articulate what they think, what they want, and what they do not want. And it has become a foreign language to a lot of women. Within the household, within the community, within the schools, within the political arena, there has been, and what has happened is we have lumped all men together. What's going on? What's going on? We have left all men together, and we now have not heard the collective voice of men talking and saying this is what it is. We have for years, let's be very clear, and this is no indictment against women. This is just plain, this is purely putting out the facts. We have heard for years, I can say from the 80s, I can remember on, of the voice of the women and what their rights are and what they need. Am I saying that these women shouldn't have rights and that they don't have needs and things need to be taken care of from? I am not saying that. But what I am saying is that we need to be conscious that in the move towards getting the women's rights, have we neglected and forsaken the voice of the men? Have we downplayed men as only utilities within the institute of this we call United and beyond? Whoa, look at Danielle, what she said. The movie has an underlying moment that's not godly. So for me to name this ManKing, of course, it is what it is. And I'm saying that a lot of the ManKing are starting to wake up and say, you know what? This is not what I want. I don't want to debate. I don't want to debate or verbally wrestle with women on posts. They're saying that if you want to believe that, fine. If you want to stand that way, great. If you don't agree, it's okay. And I think I think Yahoo will find a scripture for me. It says, "Follow peace with all men." Of course, we're going to include women in there. Follow peace with all men. I think it's come to a time when a lot of men have found peace within, and they're saying, I also want peace without, and I'm not going to waste my precious energy mental power on debating on something that doesn't have an element of solution in it. See, we can go back and forth about the title of the movie. We can go back and forth we can even go back and forth with the different scenes in the movie. We can break it down. Good afternoon. What's going on, Kenosha? We can have all that discussion. What we're going to do is just chew the fat, and that's it. If we do not offer clear-cut solutions, and sometimes the solution, and y'all may not want to hear that, you may not want to hear this, but I'm going to say it. Sometimes the solution is, let me know, Kenosha, you just walked in. Thank you. Oh, there it is. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Wow. Thank you so much, Yahoo. Appreciate that. Let me say this. The element of solution, we can wrestle about the title. We can wrestle about the true history of this tribe. We can wrestle about the slave trade and how the particular Africans in this that is portrayed in this movie are sold their other people and some of their people into slavery. We can wrestle about that. But if we do not offer any solutions, and we're just glad because this beautiful woman has now taken the place as the him in this movie, we missed it. It is. Let me get what Danielle said. Now, this is Danielle. It's not Danielle, but Danielle is a woman. I've been knowing her for years. And I did not, trust me, don't say he put her up to her, he paid her. I didn't pay her nothing. It was hidden subliminal message to take down masculinity. It also was full of witchcraft and homosexuality. Notice the young woman threw the cross to the ground in his attack against the order of God and creation. So this is Danielle's perception. So don't nobody come for her on Facebook. You girl, what you talking about? Don't do that. This is what she said from seeing the movie, because I'm saying I didn't see the movie. This is what she said. It was hidden subliminal messages to take down masculinity. It also was full of witchcraft and homosexuality. Notice the young woman threw down the cross on the ground. It was an attack against the order of God and creation. Haven't seen it? Don't watch such things. Sorry. So I want you to get something here. Everyone's going to have an interpretation on what they see in the movie, on how they view it, based on their own personal lens. Now, for me to attack Danielle and say, you know what? You're not right, Danielle. It's not an attack against masculinity. You're right. It's not against the order again. I cannot say that if I have not seen the movie, and if I don't know Danielle, and I don't know Danielle's personal experience and talking from her what point of view. What we have done is we talk, and I've watched it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. We talk about this, but we never offer viable, realistic solutions to these things. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and you will wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and the lost. Daniel 7:24. So I want everybody to really think. See, it's easy to do ad hominems, to attack me, to attack my character, to attack my show, or even say something about my family, say something about other people who listening to this and say, hey, you know what? You're stupid. You just don't know what you're doing. You Google all that stuff was wonderful. But at the end of the ad hominem, and Dylan, you put it in there, solution is the key. What conversation needs to have after this? After you watch the movie, what conversation do we need to have right now after watching this movie? What real in your face, no holds bar, no trying to paint it over. What do we need to, what conversation do we really need to have? Who do we really need to talk to? Isn't it an indictment against men? Isn't it an indictment against women? Is it misogyny inside? Is it misogyny that we need to deal with? Is it misandry that we need to deal with? Do we need to deal with this because apparently we do not want to face the hard reality that a lot of men and a lot of women have some underlying self-hatred that they don't want to deal with. They have a lot of self-hatred that they do not want to deal with. Because at the end of the day, in order to come with a viable solution, we got to have communication. We got to know how to talk to each other. We know that we got to learn how to disagree. We got to know how to come together and say, hey, let me look in the mirror. You may see something in my mirror that I may not recognize. But I think we're in a day and age where there's an entitlement. And I'm going to say it with a lot of women. Not all, with some women. When I was talking to the brother, but I'm not going to, reveal too much of what he said behind the scenes, but he said he believes. He believes, and now you can debate this if you want to, but he believes that the conscious community, and I'm going to rephrase what he said so you don't figure out who he was. He said something that was really interesting. He believes that the conscious community and other communities, because I'm going to stretch out what he says, I'm going to do a little embellishment, has did a disservice to a lot of women by calling them queens. Let me say that again. He said that he believed that the conscious community and other communities had did a disservice to a lot of women by calling them queens. While it sounds good and is grandiose to call a woman a queen, but he believes that it has done a disservice to a lot of women because it has given the title without verification that you are qualified for the title. Oh, I hear you over here. I hear the people over here. Well, what about the kings? What about these men calling them king? We're not talking about that right now. I'm going to get to that. But he said he believed there was a different. It was a disservice to call these women queens when they have not been deserving or even have the qualifications, not of the Queen of England. So don't y'all get galled. Well, you talking about the Queen of England? We're not talking about that. I ain't talking about the Queen of England. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the purest sense of the word of a queen. We have given unvalidated titles to some women who in turn were not qualified to carry that title, and have taken it now to a place that has become entitled that has become unhealthy and that has become very alarming, not only to say me personally, but to at large. Equally so, we have done the same thing to a lot of men, calling them kings, where they have not even qualified to be called a king. And we know we have no problem, let me say this very clear, calling out men who say they're kings and they're not kings. But it's only when we switch the narrative and begin to call out the women who say they are queens that are not qualified as queens, that there becomes a problem. Now, the title of this is the ManKing. They have decided to walk away. I'm here to reiterate and say again that a lot of men have decided to walk away. And it's not, let me say this because y'all need to hear this. It's not that the men, let me drink this apple juice. It is not that the men do not love the women. Let me say that again for those in the clouds lurking and in the clouds swimming and paddling by. And, let me say that again.
Execute Order 66.
Did I get pushed?
Execute Order 66.
It is not that the men do not love the women. Please understand that. I've talked to a number of men. It's not that they do not, what's going on, Black Jack? It's not that they do not like women. It's not that these men do not love women. But what they do not like, y'all need to hear this clearly. Woo! Uh-oh. See, True Savage came out the clouds, man. My man. Some women are not worthy of a man. Oh, I didn't say that. Yep, you see that right there. So don't y'all come in here, women fashion. No, because I get on men. Let me get to it. I love women. Women want to wear the pants. Listening. Some women are just some waves I dislike. So let me say this again.
Execute Order 66.
A lot of men have expressed that they love women. And so those who think that men do not love women, that they don't like them, is not it. What they are saying that is a hard pill for a lot of women to swallow, almost like a horse pill, is that a lot of men don't like the mentality, the way of thinking, the attitude of some women. And they have decided to resonate their dealings with women who are not homosexual, who are not lesbians, but so don't even, we're not going after that. It's not that kind of talk. But they have decided to resonate from dealing with women who desire, who wants to be like men, and who want to who wants to compete with men. He says, best I believe I love women, all four of mine, see? Enable their mad behavior for some women, totally agree. Black feminine, black female hyenas glorify the woman king. Yeah. So I want you to get this. I want you to really hear what I'm saying right here. It's not that men in general, it's not that they don't like women. It's not that they don't love women. They don't like the mentality or the mindset or the inability or the known fact that a lot of women see men as the problem and that they are disposable. And that caused a disdain inside of the minds of many men. See, it's interesting when we hear the side of what men are really thinking. I didn't say feeling, what men are really thinking, and it's really expressed in your face. Men are saying, I'm resigning. I have tried multiple ways to have this conversation with you, but it has always gone south, or it always has gone left. It has turned into unhominumville. It has turned to shame, guilt, shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. And it's always turned left. Are there some emotional men out there? Yes. So don't say I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about, please understand, I'm not talking about the emotional men. I am not talking about the men who crazy, who living on the street, who living in their mama's basement. I ain't talking about those men because I know that's the whole thing. Well, there's some men that they ain't got their stuff. I'm talking about the men who got their stuff together. At least they working. They got their own place. I'm talking about those men. We're talking about the blue collar Joe. I'm talking about the white collar Henry. I'm talking about those guys. But there is something that is awry that a lot of men say, I'm done. Let me read this. It's true. My world full of women. I love to love. Sometimes I don't like their ways either. It's a difference between using a man and wanting one. A lot of women want what men can give, but don't want their leadership. They want soft being they can control. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here, Danielle. Wait a minute here, Daniel. Let me read what she said. It's a difference between using a man and wanting a man. A lot of women want what men can give, but don't want their leadership. They want soft men they can control. If you agree with what Daniel said, put a number 1 in the chat room. If you disagree, put a 2 in the chat room. If you agree with what Daniel said, put a 1 in the chat room. If you disagree, put a 2 in the chat room. If you agree with what Daniel has just put it up there, put a 1 in the chat room. If you disagree, put a 2 in the chat room. You agree with what Daniel has said, please put a 1 in the chat room. If you disagree, put a 2.
Execute Order 66.
Put 1 in your chat room. You agree. Put a 2. You disagree. Y'all don't let surgical autoimmune be responsible. We even going down that. We ain't even go down that one. I already know. Don't involve myself what women think about me and whether to be told by these. Correct. I like that right there. Good, good, good. So we got a lot of Danielle's on point. One. Killmonger. Wow, I like that. Get that going. Press 1 for Press 1 for Danielle. Yep. Pressing 1 for Reverend. I hit it first. Clarity. A woman can't tell me nothing about a man. Come on. Look at that. Oh, wow. Somebody hit this. Thank you. Let me get this right here. Shout out to Ultimate Man. Thank you. Continue your good work, brother. Thank you for this. Super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 1 right there. Thank you, William, for the 1. Dylan, thank you for your 1. Thank you. Now, please understand, this is not misogyny, and this is no attack on women. This is not to say, hey, we're gonna get all these women, we're gonna round them up with this, we're gonna burn them at the stake. This is not it at all. This is a healthy conversation that a woman who was born a woman, and I've been knowing her for years, born a woman, has said. They want soft men that control. And if you understand the last statement of what she said, I want you to get this. At the end of the day, no woman wants a soft man that she can control. Biologically, it does nothing for her. Mentally, it does nothing for her. Spiritually, it does nothing for her to deal with a man that is salt. What happens is she internalizes his softness and begins to become resentful towards him because he is not standing in his leadership as the man. We can dismiss this in this current climate of this culture. We can dismiss this in the narrative that's been swirling around. But at the end of the day, you cannot fight plain old, simple human nature. You cannot fight. This is the thing. We're trying to socialize. How can I say this? We're trying to unsocialize our very human nature. Let me say this again. We're trying to take the socialization of our human nature and call it something else and present it in the culture that really doesn't work. No woman on a mental or a spiritual or a physical level is truly happy with a soft man. I don't, you can come in here and say what you want. I know from personal experience, and I'm gonna say this because y'all want to go there. Y'all want me to go. I step into the LD. Blackjack, let me know, do I need to go to LD after dark? Blackjack, let me know if I need to go to LD after dark. Funny thing is, the strongest man is willing to allow certain amount of control to feminine. Blackjack, let me know, do I need to go into LD after dark? So if so, those can hear it. All this does not do. Let me know, Blackjack, that I need to go into LD after dark. We steer clear from toxic people. My hat's off to the ladies that represent femininity or feminine excellence. Thank you so much. Let me know I need to go to LD at night. Okay. I'm about to go to LD after dark. Right. They need to wrap that up and send it back to where we're at. Yep. You say, no real women. Want me to go into LD after dark? LDA at night. Facts. A woman that's really want a self asset, ma'am. She'll never respect him. Thank you. Right. Straight. Let me explain. Let me go to LD after dark a little bit. On a physical level, it does nothing. Or let me go on the biological level. It does nothing for a woman if the man is soft physically. If his phallus never becomes erected or strong, she cannot enjoy pleasure, nor can he enjoy pleasure. She gets what? Frustrated because now she's ready, but he's not strong. So what do you think happens if we take it away from the physical and brought it over into the mental level when we don't have a strong mental, a man that's strong in his mentality? This is not to say women ain't strong, but just their strength is in a different place. When a man is not strong in his masculinity or in his manner, what do you think happens then? She gets frustrated, and like Joe Black said, she begins to disrespect him and don't even know it. What happens on the spiritual level when he's not able to connect to the source, God himself, and not able to bring strength to her that she needs? She becomes frustrated and she becomes what? Irritated by what he's unable to do, because now she has to shift out of her position and shift into his position and become his. Wanna be your man. Want to come his man. And no, you're going to mess around, need a blue pill, you're going to need a red pill. So you got to understand facts. When she don't respect you, she will reject you. I agree. The number one enemy in our nation is not the modern woman, but the weak men. The gym will not build that kind of muscle. Woo! Right there. Let's stay right there. So why are you thinking it's an indictment against women on this show, or that I'm a male chauvinist and that I am a misogynist, then indictment comes down to what? What Yahoo just said. I agree. The number one enemy in our nation is not the modern woman, but the weak men. The gym will not build that kind of muscle. What we have now is a real indictment, which goes back around to the name of the title. The ManKings have decided to walk away. We have created in this atmosphere, and we have thrown it up, and we have created an atmosphere of men who are mentally, what's going on, Wade? Get to see, who are mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, socially weak. Now, because these men are like that, there is repercussions for this. Now, let me say this so everybody clear. Now, a man that is in his strength is not going to deal with this modern day woman's sugar honey iced tea. We can talk about it. We can dance about it. They're not going to deal with this modern day sugar honey iced tea. I don't care how much hips you got. I don't care how your fingertips snap. I don't care how long your weave is and ain't is. They ain't dealing with a woman, a strong man ain't dealing with a woman who has not got a grasp of her femininity. I thanked my friend for inboxing me her journey of deprogramming her. I DM my other friend down in Florida, and I'm gonna say who she is. She listening? I'm not sure. I said, I appreciate your divine femininity. Was I simping? No. I was appreciating her divine femininity. She was walking across the street with her heels on and a dress right at her knees. It wasn't the dress or the heels. That was just the outward adornment. But it was just her grace and her femininity that spoke volumes. That can heal a man. Sometimes they be bigger than the man's pain. Uh-oh, Jesus, baby Jesus. You said female hyenas have penises too. Wow. She will only reject him after she has drained him. Wow, right there, Kenosha. That's good right there. The males being made weak is not a coincidence. Yep. You guys are talking now. Trying to take the brothers out of the power position as head because of the way we have been viewed as a nation was with nothing to show for as a whole. Taking brothers out and down for the count, spiritual battle. Yeah, it is. Correct her or reject her is an option. She's looking in your mirror. Be cautious of what you place in your mirror for her to see. Correct. So I want you guys to realize this is just a conversation we're going to have. We're going back Wednesday. I am still building out the behind the scenes, not Patreon, but community for us. And I want to make sure we get where we stand at. So everybody's on the same page with this. This is our big purpose. And I want everybody to get this for the thinking class, since everybody has an opinion about what we should do and what we do over here. Let me read this purpose right here so everybody's on the same page. The thinking class, we bring together forward-thinking, spiritual conscious individuals to learn, share, and grow, and reframe our mindsets. We push to reach our maximum potential on all levels so that we can unlock the new spiritual and practical paths to strengthen the relationships that matter the most and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavior mastery. That is the job of the thinking class. Let me read that again. The thinking class, we bring together forward-thinking, spiritual conscious individuals to learn, share, and to grow, and reframe our mindset. We push to reach our maximum potential on all levels so that we can unlock new spiritual and practical paths to strengthen the relationship that matters the most and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavioral mastery. So why you think it's an indictment against women over here? I have forever, ever held men accountable over here. I have forever, ever held men accountable over here. Next, I want to make sure we emphasize this. I want to make sure I emphasize this. This is just the beginning. On Wednesday, I want you to come back. On Wednesday, I want you to come back. We could continue this conversation on the ManKing. They have decided to walk away. We just talked. We just dibble-dabbled into it. This, trust me, this is, I already said it again. I didn't see the movie. I don't plan on seeing the movie. The title, I have my own opinions of what I thought about the title. That is, I'm privy to that. But I want to make sure we emphasize something right here, that we need to have a conversation, and we need to have it quickly. Let me read what Yahoo wrote. He says, in reference to Sister Danielle's comment, this is exactly why I chose to stay single. Strong men are not scared of marriage and nation building. We are terrified of divorce and nation demolishing. Who wants to see their throne in ruins? Not me. Love to Sister Danielle. Stay strong, sister. Let me say this again, what he said. This is very important. In reference to Sister Danielle's comment, this is exactly why I chose to stay single. Strong men are not scared of marriage or nation building. We are terrified of divorce and nation demolishing or demolition. Demolition. We need to sit that right there. Because this, y'all, please understand this, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this again. Shout out to the most hated men on YouTube. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, because this is where I heard it at. So all y'all and Kevin Samuels said this. Y'all, all this hate for a man that's dead and gone, and you wasn't there 3 years when he was talking to the men. Let me say that again. I tell you, you're right. Other day, the movie title is super trash. Do 10 times. Don't have to do nothing with what she said. Let me say this. Let me say this again. Y'all, all this hate y'all have for Brother Kevin Samuel, who is deceased. Shout out to the Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. Shout out to as a fellow YouTuber, content creator. Let me say this. He said something that I got from him. He said, women control the access to sex, and women control the access to sex, and men control the access to commitment. When you understand that, whether you like what he said and how he said it, he was too rough with women. He was good. He was good for women. Kevin, why are you Kevin this, Kevin that, Kevin, everybody mad at Kevin. But they missed the truth because they were in their feelings. He said women control the access to sex and men control the access to commitment. Maybe they don't want to hear that over there. Maybe y'all want to hear that. Y'all want somebody to sugarcoat what's being said. Men control the access. Kevin says, touch my fifi. Men control the access to commitment, while what? While women control the access to sex. So I'm saying that to bring up a point here. We can go back and forth all we want. And ladies, you can give up all the sex you want to these men. You can spread them, you can go ego, you can break it down, you can twerk, you can do everything you want. But that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get his commitment. So on Wednesday, join us Wednesday as I continue this conversation about the ManKing. When men decided to walk away, a king definition is a male ruler over a state. Why do they have a log and soul back? We're going to talk about it. Yahoo, I'm a woman who honors the order of God. God has a mate for you if you want. There are some women out here that are no better. Ooh, I like that. Men control the access to sex too. The man got to get hard in order to have sex. Swimming ain't worth it. Oh, boy, see, you shooting shots. You shooting shots. You shooting shots. Some women ain't worth getting excited about. What's a woman worth with keeping her legs open? Y'all gonna go. So Wednesday, join us Wednesday. Let me put everybody pick. We're gonna pick Shirley up. Shirley, if you name Shirley, this ain't you, but Shirley. She's up there. The ManKing, when men decided to walk away. We out of here. See you Wednesday. Same time, that location. This is Lawrence D. Adams. We out. She cute. Hey, cutie. Hey, girlfriend. Look at you, cute. Ain't you just cute? Look at them teeth. Look at that hair. Look at them teeth. Just sexy. You look so cute. Woo. Looking precious. Peace to you, brother. She looks so cute. Hey, girlfriend. Oh, looking at her. Let me read what it says. I have to tell you, boss man, the thicket class has changed my life. Took away my sexual thirst for something that's not that serious. Appreciate that, brother. Look at her. She looking cute. You know that she plotting on Simba spot the whole time. Oh, look at the baby. Peace and love and chosen. Team ever seen from the Lion King. Look at the cutie. Peace to y'all. See you Wednesday. Speaking class, and we are.